We are professional graduate diploma of education students at UWS teaching primary, and today we're doing a big book presentation on the book Augustus and His Smile, and we're going to share reading, talking, listening and writing tasks based on this book. Just before we talk about the big book though, we would introduce the activity with a sort of health and well-being lesson. So just take 20 seconds in your elbow partners and talk about what makes you smile. What makes you happy, but specifically, what makes you smile? 20 seconds. So what makes you smile? Having children. There you go. Almost makes you smile. Most of the time. And 3, and 2, and 1. So, what makes you smile? Suggestions from your audience. What makes you smile?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Can we put our hands up next time, please?
Oh, sorry.
But chocolate, a great thing. It's nice and exciting. What else makes us smile?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Unfortunately, not much of it today.
No.
Sunshine, of course, that makes us smile. Anything else that makes us smile? Makes us smile.
Holidays.
Holidays. And we've nearly got one coming, so we should be smiling. Absolutely. One of the health and wellbeing outcomes talks about feelings and how we can respond to feelings, and we felt that would be a good way to introduce the book Augustus and His Smile. So once we've done that activity, we would introduce the book to the children by saying it's by Catherine Rayner, who is the author, but not only that, Catherine Rayner is a very talented lady because she also illustrated it, so she's also the illustrator. And as we read it, obviously it's quite a small book, it's not the biggest of books, but we would get up to the children and show them how the words are laid out on the page and guide them through it. And one of the things we would do as we read the book is ask questions, because one of the CFE outcomes is being able to respond to something you've listened to. So as we go through it, think about questions that you might be asking of your audience. So, Augustus and His Smile. And it's written by Catherine Rayner. Remember, that's the author. Catherine Rayner is also a very talented lady because she has done the illustrations. She is also the illustrator of this book. And as we read it with the children, we would specifically be drawing them to things. For example, there's a CFE outcome that says specifically about responding to questions. So when we see things in the book, we would ask questions and get the children to respond to it, just to make sure that they are actually listening and engaging with the book. So, Augustus and His Smile by Catherine Rayner. Augustus the tiger was sad. He had lost his smile. So he did a huge tigery stretch and he set off to find it. First, he crept under a cluster of bushes. He found a small, shiny beetle, but he couldn't see his smile. Then he climbed to the tops of the tallest trees. He found birds that chirped and called, but he couldn't find his smile.
But he could perhaps have found his smile had he used the expression that the author has developed in the text. She's used the mountains on this page, for example, to heighten the expression in children's voices, to develop that. He scaled the crests of the highest. Also, alliteration. She's used alliteration, which Simon will go on to. Now, all of these things are developing expression in children, which is a key part of their development in literacy.
Further and further Augustus searched. He scaled the crests of the highest mountains, where the snow clouds swirled, making frost patterns in the freezing air. He swam to the bottom of the deepest oceans and splished and splashed with shoals of tiny, shiny fish. He pranced and paraded through the largest desert, making shadow shapes in the sun. Augustus padded further and further through shifting sand until
Augustus realised he was late for lunch with his mum and his dad and his brother and his sister. So he rushed home and he just made it in time before they started eating. And lunch was a really important part of the day for the family because it's where they do all their talking. And talking is an incredibly important part of the curriculum. So we can develop this by hot seating. Where have you been, Augustus? Why are you so late? What have you been doing?
I've been in the desert, maybe. I found a beetle under a bush.
We can engage the children by asking them questions and getting them to come up with responses. But we can also get them to think, pair, share. We can get them to think, pair, share with their partner and discuss what sort of questions they might come up with if they were Augustus's family. Would you like to discuss with your partner? And this is a hugely important part of the curriculum. It is, the use of questioning is an important part of the development in literacy, and the use of answering questions is important as well. Now in the early stages, the teacher can model the hot seater, can sit in the hot seat and can be the conduit for the conversation. And in latter years of primary school, the children themselves can engage in the hot seat. So what do you think Augustus's mum and dad and brother and sister would ask Augustus?
They'd ask Augustus why he wasn't wearing the watch he was given for his birthday. And they would ask why he didn't phone if he knew he was going to be late.
Well, I was so engaged and lost my smile, you see. I was so engaged in losing my smile that I just forgot the time. And I forgot where I was, and I was running so late. I was so thinking about my smile and where I was going to get it back from.
Until pitter, patter, pitter, patter, drip, drop, plop.
And then we would move on to the writing part. And under CFE, there is one you can model on something you've read before, so the children would do that. We would get them to use their imagination. So they were thinking, oh, where could Augustus go now? So we thought he could go to the space, he could go on a rocket, he could also go on a boat, and you could take that anywhere you would like. So it would be the children's own imagination to go out and explore different ways Augustus could travel.
Augustus danced and raced as raindrops bounced and flew. He splished through puddles, bigger and deeper. He raced towards a huge silvery blue puddle and saw his smile there under his nose. Isn't that cute? And Augustus realized that his smile would be there whenever he was happy. He only had to swim with the fish, or dance in the puddles, or climb the mountains and look at the world, for happiness was everywhere around him.
So the children would now then look around them in an art lesson to take it cross-curricular. They'd look at the people in their classroom to see how happy they are, what makes them smile, and you'd emphasise to them that everyone's different, everyone has different reasons to smile, we all smile for different things, and it's looking at everyone's smile and that they're all different as well.
Augustus was so pleased that he hopped and skipped and jumped away, smiling. Thank you very much.